Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time with us. This is Leanne Presents. I'm your host for this video, Leanne, and I'm joined by my co-host, Alan. And as you've seen from the title card, What's a title? We're here with our reactions to WWE's latest premium live event, Money in the Bank. So this took place on the 6th of July.
Look at your son.
It's over here, but I haven't fixed it.
Okay.
It's fine. We'll figure it out as we go. So this took place in Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario.
Which is in Canada, for those who don't know.
In Canada. Yeah, pretty good show. It was quite fun. Lots of filler. Again, really annoyed at how much filler there is.
It was ridiculous. This long.
3 hours 16.
Hours and minutes.
Plus 16 seconds, I think, was it?
Yeah, that is
Something
correct.
like that?
And there was only 5 matches, so that's...
It's so much filler. We'll get into it. So we start with the usual kind of watching people arrive randomness, which is fine. And then there's this sort of heist-style animation to introduce Money in the Bank, which I guess they're using the concept of the heist of the century cash-in.
Yeah.
Just sort of running with that. So that's kind of the theme. It's quite fun, and they use it quite well. And it brings us all quite neatly to the first match of the night, which was a surprise.
Yeah.
It's the men's Money in the Bank match. We've got Jey Uso, Andrade, LA Knight, Chad Gable, Carmelo Hayes, and Drew McIntyre, all competing to get that Money in the Bank contract. Yeah, interesting choice to have starting the show.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes sense.
Yeah,
because the earlier the match is, the more opportunity there might be for a cash-in.
Yeah.
We did find out that Chad Gable has never been in a Money in the Bank match.
He's never been in a ladder match. Yeah, that was surprising.
Very surprising. But I guess his style is more like on the ground stuff, so not as much use for ladders. But I think he did pretty well.
Yeah.
There was even a moment where he had climbed the ladder and almost got the briefcase.
Yeah.
And ended up hanging from the like hook thing. And then falls. And it looks like he hits the mat face first.
That was wild.
It was crazy.
That was a nasty bump.
Nasty bump, but he took it well. But it was a really fun match. Ladder matches always suffer from the obvious setup syndrome, where they're clearly like putting a ladder across here and then going off to do something else. Like, well, you've obviously put it there for a reason. And it's usually that person that goes through it, which is where we get the, if you set it up, be prepared to take it sort of moniker from. It was a really fun match and lots of action and some excellent spots from all sides. Do you have any specific highlights from this one you want to look at?
Did Gable throwing LA Knight through that table, through the chair, through the ladder? Oh my god, I'll get it right in a minute.
He's kind
of
and chairs.
belly to back suplex over the top rope onto the ladder on the outside. That was quite nuts. Crazy. And obviously the Gable bump.
Gable bump, yes, falling from the top.
And the only other one would have been the Drew javelin.
Oh yeah, I can't remember that one.
Someone was at the top. I think it might have been Jey Uso, and Drew just grabs a ladder and he yeets it at Jey Uso. He just lobs it like it's a friggin' javelin.
I do have that because it's near the end.
Yeah.
So it was Jey. He was almost at the top.
It's quite funny because then Drew yeets the ladder.
He did yeet it. Yeah, like you say, just like a javelin.
Yeah.
Right in the face. And
that was nuts, and that could have gone so wrong.
It really could. I'm surprised it didn't. I hope Jay's okay.
Just imagine Jey just be like, huh? Uh-oh. Crunch.
I used to be a wrestler to like a ladder to the face.
Yeah, that's during Nitro. Oh boy.
So after the javelin, Drew sort of clears Jey out of the ring and climbs up and grabs that briefcase. So Drew is Mr. Money in the Bank. And
Scottish warrior in the bank.
So then it's at this point that you're thinking, oh, is this why they put this first? There's obviously a chance for him to cash in on the match later on, the championship match. So
Leanne, tell me wrestling's predetermined without telling me wrestling's predetermined.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only time as far as I know, they've ever put the men's Money in the Bank match first on the card.
As far as I can remember,
I cannot imagine any reason. Usually it's like either the main event or sub-main event.
They did it last year too.
Did they?
Apparently so.
Ooh, I forgot that one.
They did it last year.
Wow, I'll take it back. I take it all back.
The year before that was the women's and the men's.
Yeah, sort of sandwiched, wasn't it?
Right at the end, yeah. That's the Austin Theory won it, and I was just like, yeah, look at my notes. I'm like, yeah, we did enjoy that
finish. Some downsides about this match. No Wyatt 6.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that.
We were quite expecting him to.
I wanted Gable to be on top of that ladder, almost sort of close to it, reaching it, and then the lights drop out.
How'd they go?
And then they come back up, and like a Howdy or Mercy or something just stood on the other side of the ladder. Yeah, and Gable just kind of backs away, like staring. Like I think that would have been a great visual.
It would have been a great opportunity for them to do something with it, but nothing happened in this match. It's just a straight up.
I mean, match. Let's not get expectations up for anyone watching who hasn't seen it. There is no Wyatt 6 through this entire event, which I am disappointed about. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Sad times. I should have mentioned right at the start that we did do
spoilers.
That there are spoilers.
Spoilers.
And we did do our predictions for this, which we'll be referencing through this, which I didn't mention because I was so excited to get into talking about the matches. So that's fine. How was our predictions?
Our predictions. You predicted Andrade to win.
I don't know why.
Don't really know why.
I don't know why now. The reasons have gone.
You weren't correct on that one. I predicted the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre to win, so I got that one correct.
Well done, you. All right, and then we go into our shortest filler spot of the evening. Clap, 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 clap. It's a
DIY.
Champa, yeah, DIY. Smallest filler pot.
Filler pot? It's a filler pot.
An ad for the boys who are sponsoring this whole event. In particular, the ladder matches.
We need to watch
it. It does look really good.
Yeah.
An ad
for one of my favourite actors is in the new season. I know that. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan in The Walking Dead.
Because it's definitely one to watch. It's on the list. The list is too long. We have an ad for NXT Heatwave, which I think is tonight as we're filming. On the 7th of July. Yeah. And then one of many ads for Fanatics Fest, which it's fine doing ads for WWE stuff, but don't just advertise the same thing over and over again. Come on.
Gets a bit old. I want to say a bit.
Very old, immediately. So our second match on this card, we've got Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. So the Frankenstein is a hell of a move.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Scott Steiner used to pull that off.
That makes sense with the name.
Yeah.
That it just like completely wiped Sami out on that one.
Yeah, and it would look great. I thought it was a thing of beauty because the way he just sort of walks up the ropes casually and then hits the Frankenstein and lands down on his knees and he's just like, it's like, oh my god, what beautiful. A specimen! That guy is a specimen.
So Bron, I felt, was very dominant throughout this match. Sami was like dodging a few things and he got offense in, but we did talk in our predictions about how this is likely to be an underdog story.
I mean, every match with Sami Zayn is pretty much.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Sami Zayn's more of an underdog now than Rey Mysterio. What does that tell you?
Yeah, this is where the problem is.
They're doing it to death.
It becomes, you just start realizing how unrealistic it is. If it's like, he loses a few times and then he like gets the win because he's learned from experience or whatever. That works as an underdog story, but he's going in a match with a really tough guy and somehow pulls it off every time, essentially. It's a bit much.
I mean, like I said, we've gone to WrestleMania. There's no way Sami should have won that match.
No.
I will die on that hill.
Yeah, it doesn't feel realistic. Because Sami's really good at selling as well. And that kind of makes it worse in a way because he's like,
he looks more beat up, yeah.
He looks completely out of it and done. And then suddenly he's like,
oh, I'm going to flip, flop and fly and hit loads of good moves and like, oh, come on.
Really. It doesn't quite work.
Hey, Leanne, tell me wrestling's predetermined. Tell me wrestling's predetermined. Just watch a Sami Zayn match.
Yeah, a little bit. You got any highlights you wanted to...
The Frankensteiner. The Frankensteiner for that was my highlight. And Bron kind of learning as well. So, as we mentioned in our predictions, when Bron went into the ring, he speared Sami, and then he ran around the ring, and Sami leapfrogged him, and he went straight into the steps.
Yes.
The same thing was set up again. So Bron kind of sneaks out, he runs around, Sami jumps, but Bron pulls the brakes, and he's like, oh, and he manages to stop before hitting the steps. So I like to see that sort of, okay, that happened to me, I'm learning from this, I'm not just going to do it again, because otherwise you're just like, hello, you know, stupid, duh, what are you doing? You know, and I hate that. So I did enjoy that, the sort of the seeing that he'd learned from what had happened on Raw.
Yeah, for sure. So at the finish, Sami gets a haluva kick and pins Bron. So Sami wins this match. Yeah, a little bit. He was sort of he got a second wind and probably a third or fourth wind at this point.
Stupid.
Yeah, just Bron Breakker's just knocked out
Stupid.
from one kick.
Stupid.
Yeah, I do agree. It's written stupid. He's written stupid in his notes. It doesn't make sense, and Bron deserves better. To be fair, he's been amazing. He's been really good, and developing and learning both in storyline and as a person.
And it's not. I'm not really annoyed because I got the prediction wrong because I predicted Bron Breakker to win, and she, Leanne, that is, got Sami Zayn
pronouns
to win. Yeah, to win, so she gets that right, and I got that wrong. But it's just the stupidest thing to do.
Yeah.
You might as well just have Braun Strowman go into the ring, have Sami Zayn hit one punch, have Braun Strowman fall on his back and get pinned at this rate, because that's exactly what's going to be. Yeah, it's crap. I'll say what it is. It's crap.
Fair. Okay. Some filler for you. It's a bit of
filler. That's going to be better than that result.
There's an ad for 2K24.
Yawn.
An ad for WWE Bad Blood.
Yeah, surprised by that.
It's the first time in a long time that
27 years.
That this premium live event, previously pay-per-view, it's happening.
It would have been back in the day, yeah.
So it's going to be on October the 5th. It looks cool.
It's 27 years to the day. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell.
Well, did they say it's the first Hell in a Cell match?
That was the very first Hell in a Cell match, and it was the first appearance of Kane.
So I wonder if they're going to be doing any firsts at this one.
It would be nice, yeah. That'd be cool. I can almost see... It's probably, well, I mean, it is kind of an ongoing feud. It doesn't necessarily mean anything's going to come out of this event yet, but Drew versus Punk, Bad Blood, that kind of fits.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to see it string on for 3 more months.
Oh, that's very true, yeah. There's a limit.
Maybe we'll get Damian and Finn.
Ooh,
because they seem to be kind of...
Because Bad Blood kind of infers it's in the family a bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty much family at the moment. So, interesting. We then get a sort of preview, I suppose, for WrestleMania XL Behind the Curtain, the long-awaited documentary.
Which is on YouTube now.
Yes. It was quite a long clip. It was a bit weird.
Yeah, but 2 minutes.
And then, finally, after 2 whole matches, we meet the host of the event. Why do they bother doing hosts anyway?
I don't know.
As Trish Stratus, though, so she is from Canada, so a bit of a rub from that. Hometown. So it makes sense having her like a prominent part. But if you've got someone as the host, maybe have them introduce the whole show at the start and come out every few times on stage. I don't know. There we go. But she comes out and announces John Cena to the ring. So that's a surprise, apart from people who heard in advance he was there. But what else?
Like somebody spotted him in an airport or something.
So John Cena comes out to the ring and he's wearing different sort of shirt to usual, and it's covered in hints of what he's going to say.
Not even that, his little towel thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much, well, it's very obvious from him walking down to the ring what he's about to say. John Cena is retiring from pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And he's essentially saying that if this is his farewell tour, 2025 is pretty much going to be his last year. So WrestleMania 2025 will be his last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So we know he's going to have a match there, but we don't know what it is at this point. But yeah, it's a strange thing because he's only turns up every now and then.
He's got filming commitments, obviously.
Yeah. So it's like, are you really here? But he is. He's still like a part of WWE, a huge part, even though he's not there all the time. But it's like makes it official that he's not going to be coming back after this last run.
So he did say that the more details will be given during the press conference at the end, and I do have a bit of a transcription from that. So basically says, here's what we give you, some of the deets of the farewell tour, where we give you, it's not going to end at WrestleMania. WrestleMania will be my last one, but hopefully if everything goes according to plan, we're going straight through from January to December. We're going to try to do a long list of dates. I think right now it's hovering around mid-30s to 40s. We're trying to juggle a lot of stuff, but that's going to be, once that ends, that's going to be the end of his in-ring competition.
Cool. I think it's a good sort of time for it to happen, because he can still go. It's not like he's floundering and needs to get out. No. So it's probably a good time to be able to have that like long stretch to be able to say goodbye to a lot of different places and go out the way he wants to.
I agree with that, yeah.
And that'll be sad, but it's nice that he's going out on his own terms.
Yes.
So many wrestlers don't get that chance.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you think about. I mean, the thing with John Cena is that everyone's like, "Oh, he's the best ever to do it," and I don't believe that. I really don't. His mic work is phenomenal. His in-ring work has a lot to be desired, in my opinion. Is he strong? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Has he got a really good work ethic? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does he put on absolute banger of matches? No, not really. No.
Depends who he's with, I guess.
But like you think about Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan back in WWE,
Yeah.
and when he had to retire, on Edge when he had to retire, or Roman Reigns when he had to go because he had leukemia or cancer scare and whatnot. And it's like they didn't have a chance to, at that particular point in their time, to go, right, well, I may never do this again. But John Cena's getting to do this, and I think that's really nice to be able to do that. He's, as you say, 20 years he's been in WWE doing this. He's 16-time champ. You know, it is a credit to him, and I hope it's a good run for him. I really do.
Yeah, I do.
I do prefer his acting stuff. I think he's amazing as Peacemaker.
Oh, he is, yeah.
Superb as Peacemaker. We still need to see some of his stuff, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, then we have an ad for WWE Speed.
Yawn. Next.
And then we go to the Judgment Day. I think
Let's
they call it the Clubhouse.
speed past that segment.
I think they call it the Clubhouse. Judgment Day's like room. Right.
Yeah.
And Damian Priest is there telling the others that no one's going to be messing in his business. So
even if Drew turns up, just stay in the back.
Yeah, he wants to do this on his own, which is fair. But once he's left the room, the camera goes to Finn Balor, who says in a snarky sort of tone, "Whatever you want, boss."
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Again, leading into that bad blood we spoke about earlier.
He ain't happy. But that does lead us quite neatly into our next match, which is Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So this is a fun match. With some interesting twists and turns. And some problems. Here we go. Okay. My first issue isn't the one you're thinking, probably. I did mention it during the time.
No, I think I know it because I've got it written down as well, so it could be the same thing.
So,
come on.
Priest is great.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Oh, no, it's not. No. Okay.
But in this match particularly, there was a couple of moments where he was so obviously putting himself in the position to take the next move. There was one where he got hit with a move and then was stumbling around, going around in circles to end up directly in the middle of the rope to be thrown over the rope. Really obvious. And then he was down on the mat and completely adjusted himself to be square on into the ring. It's like, oh, come on, dude, you're better than that. And he's so good, but when things like that happen, it pulls me out of it.
I don't know if it might be Seth. Maybe he's picky with that kind of stuff. Maybe because he was a lot more noticeable in this one.
Yeah, it hasn't stood out to me before so much.
It could be the Seth, you have to be straight on.
Yeah,
so maybe it's Seth.
It could be.
You know, and if Seth's getting picky about that, then maybe he shouldn't have broken Sting's neck. Just saying. Yeah. My biggest issue with this was there was too much focus on both guys on looking up the entrance for Drew. I hated that. Absolutely hated it.
I get they would be assuming that Drew's going to try and cash in.
Yeah.
But they were doing it right from the start of the match.
Yeah. And it wasn't just it was
yeah. It was almost
it's come on, guys.
Trying to goad him down, I suppose.
Yeah.
But there's no way he's going to come in and cash
there was a point
in right at the start of the match.
I think it was Seth. There was a point that said, come on then, Drew, come on.
Yeah, there was.
And it's come on, really?
Yeah. We all know it's a risk. Just have the match and see what happens. That's all you can do. You can't control it. So, should we get to the moment?
Come on, then.
Okay, so Seth has Priest pinned.
He hit him with a Falcon Arrow.
And the ref starts counting. And he reaches 2 and stops. And the lights come out.
And then he's like, 2.
But no one kicks out. Nothing.
Well, Priest doesn't kick out.
No one moves.
Seth doesn't give up the pin. But you could almost see Damian kind of look towards the entrance.
Yeah.
I think his head kind of turned a little bit.
It felt like forever before.
It was probably in reality less than 10 seconds.
Probably. But it's long enough to make that moment so noticeable that should have been a 3 count.
You know what else shouldn't have been a 3 count? When Gunther's shoulders when Gunther pinned Randy Orton at King of the Ring and his shoulders went down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this going on in WWE recently, and it's really, really getting noticeable.
Yeah, the problem...
The cameraman is right there, staring right at it, and you cannot miss it.
The rule's always meant to be, the ref has to call it
as they see it.
To avoid things like this. And I get it, in this situation, calling it would have completely changed everything.
Yeah.
So I get why he didn't, but it's still... Anyway, Drew's music plays, which is supposed to have broken up the pin.
Well, yeah,
I think.
that's what we surmise, is the music was to hit, and then the ref would have been 1, 2, music.
Music hits.
What?
Yeah.
And that's where the lights kicked up.
It would have made sense.
So the music guy wasn't on point,
No.
but the lights guy was. The referee was. Seth and Damian were.
Someone's getting fired. So yeah, down comes Drew and cashes in, which turns this match into a triple threat
And the second time this has ever happened.
Yeah, which is, I think I've only seen it, the cash in, like after a match is finished and then picking up the pieces, essentially.
First time was at WrestleMania. Don't ask me what year it was. It was Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. And Seth Rollins cashed in.
Oh, that one.
That is the heist of the century. That's what they're referring to.
I think that was just before I started watching.
Oh, that was many years before you started watching.
Probably.
Yeah, it was a good few
I can't
years.
remember. I know I've heard it many times.
Yeah, it was a good few years.
So Drew cashes in, and the bell rings to sort of, I guess, restart the match. And it looks like it might have been maybe a good idea for it to happen, because both Seth and Damian Priest are like worse for wear. But of course, CM Punk turns up and just attacks Drew viciously with,
I think with a chair, wasn't it?
Chairs, and then he uses the cable, and then he uses the belt to just basically take him back out of the match, which allows Priest to recover and be able to hit.
Yeah, you should mention that Drew has sort of beat up both Priest and Rollins at this point before Punk can interject.
Done a bit. So Priest hits South of Heaven on Drew and pins him to win and retain.
Yeah.
Which means that Drew is no longer Mr. Money in the Bank.
Nope.
Probably not the shortest reign in history, I imagine, but it'll be up there. I don't know. It's gotta be up there.
You know, it might be. But then I guess it depends. Do you count a successful cash-in as a reign as well? Would you count the successful ones?
True.
That's probably the quickest failing of a Money in the Bank that I can remember.
It's a real shame for Drew that he
is getting shoehorned in with his bloody CM Punk crap.
Yeah, shoehorned in.
Punk shouldn't even be in the company. Come on.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. And it just, the match really lost a lot in my estimation from that missed cue, because it would have, if Seth had been cast as the winner.
If all those things had been pointed on point, it would have worked perfectly.
Yeah, but it would have changed everything.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, if that music cue had hit when it should have.
It would have been great.
It would have been great, and it wouldn't have sucked you out, because we were just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it pulls you out. And you realise, oh wait, yeah, someone missed a cue.
I guess at that point, though, Damian probably should have thought, right, I'm going to kick out.
Yeah.
But it would have taken away from the cash-in impact. I guess that's it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, you know?
In that moment, it must have been like, what do we do?
Yeah.
How can you make that decision so quickly? Even the ref. I say, like, the ref should have called it as he saw it, but he knew what was supposed to happen, and he was trying to make it be what it was supposed to be. So, you know, fair enough. Well, only one person should be fired for this.
Yeah, it's the music guy. We both predicted Damian Priest to walk away with the title, and we both got that one correct.
Yeah.
I detest CM Punk. I hate Pepsi Phil, but I will say thank God for that, because it looked like Rollins was going to win it.
Yeah.
And then it looked like Drew was going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to see Priest lose it.
Nope.
But obviously the downside now is that we've got Damian Priest taking on Gunther.
Yes. At
SummerSlam. So I don't know quite how that's going to go down.
Yeah, it could be an interesting one, especially if with the feud, the potential cracks in Judgment Day, he won't have the help that he usually would. Not that he's wanting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Philip is an ad for Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania, all happening in Indianapolis, I think, year after next, was it? I don't know.
No, so Royal Rumble's next year. I think SummerSlam is also next year, and then WrestleMania is going to be at some point where we don't know. They haven't announced it fully yet. Something like that. Was it 26? No, it's 2025 was the 2-day one at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I'm pretty sure it's that one.
It's
we think it's because they were the front runner to get WrestleMania for next year, and Las Vegas got it. So it's probably WWE going, look, we got you.
We still love you.
Just have Rumble, have 2 nights SummerSlam. We'll give you Mania in the future.
Yeah.
Just hold fire. Just chill your beans, you know.
Mm-hmm. There's another ad for Fanatic Fest. An ad for the Money in the Bank Superstore, which is obviously only for people who are actually there.
Thanks.
So,
why would you show that on the PPLE?
We can't go. We're in a different country. And then there's a video package of Gunther leading into the SummerSlam match against Damian. Ad for the WWE shop. Yes, there's more. And another ad for WrestleMania Behind the Curtain. So that's a lot. Anyway,
you know, if WWE focused on their wrestling more than their filler, like if they put the effort into the wrestling as they did the filler, it would be a fantastic product.
I know, right?
Just saying.
If you took the filler away, you could fit a whole.
And this next match is a bit of a thing to that, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is the only women's match on that card. It's women's Money in the Bank. Naomi, Zoey Stark, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Straton, Chelsea Green, and Io Sky.
Did you just try and call it Tiffany, Stan?
Tiffany.
It's Triffy time.
Triffy. Okay. I'm gonna just say from the start. I predicted Chelsea Green to win. I didn't know they were going to be doing a fear of heights story, or I don't know if it's real or in storyline, whatever. But I didn't know. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have picked her. But there we go. That's just to put that out there. So we do start with everyone sort of immediately leaves the ring, apart from Chelsea, who then is like jumping as if she can possibly reach the belt, which she can't. And then she gets a ladder and looks like she's going to try and climb it, changes her mind, and then tries to use the ladder to hit the belt down. It's never going to work. But that was quite funny. It was a bit of a comedy thing. This is fine.
It kind of fits well with Chelsea's character.
Yeah, it does. We did have some
botches,
definitely. Some kind of scary looking botches. Like Zoey Stark, she did a like flip off the turnbuckle, trying to hit Lyra Valkyria, but Lyra was on a ladder very close to the ropes, so there was no way Zoey was gonna actually hit her, and she ended up looking like she might have potentially hit her head on the ladder. Don't know if it actually happened, but if it didn't, it was close.
It's the same with Lyra. Someone went to throw her onto it or slam onto the ladder or something, and they completely missed, and all they caught was this part of her. And it's like, oh my god, arm. What the hell?
And you could sort of you could see the impact mark when she moved.
And there was another one with Lyra when she tried jumping up the ropes and she slipped. I think it was with Io Sky, and they're like, oh, Io Sky managed to sort of counter that, but then Lyra Valkyria still managed to swing around and hit this tornado DDT kind of move, and it's like, oh, what a reversal. And I get the understanding of the commentators trying to cover the botches, but it was a blatant error. That's all it was, you know?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of different bits in there which went wrong, which was like, oh, for God's sake. And they were kind of sloppy, especially the ladders, that one towards the end, as you say, right underneath the ropes, especially with Lyra getting chucked onto it and completely missing, and Zoey just trying to do like a flip or a swanton, whatever it was, onto it and just completely missing it because it's way too close. You would look at it and go, that's way too close. That's not going to happen.
Like change it to like a stomp or something, because you can...
Or drag the ladder out.
But if you're already at the top, it's difficult to...
The ladder was already in place. She saw the ladder on the floor right by the ropes before she even went to the outside.
Saying all that, this was a fun match. I did enjoy.
It did pick up. It picked up.
Yeah, there were some not great moments and some painful looking moments. But there's a lot of action. There was some comedy in there, and some good sort of interactions between the stars, which was fun. I think Lyra in particular, got quite a good showing. I think it obviously not like a huge amount of time because it's tricky to get loads of time for each person.
Yeah.
But I think that it was enough to sort of show me a bit what she could do and who she is, which is awesome. Have you got anything in particular?
Nope.
New? Okay, so the finish. Chelsea actually manages to climb mostly up the ladder.
She legged it up that ladder.
She was pretty close, I guess.
This is after her and Tiffy set up 2 tables on the outside.
Yeah, 2 tables are on the outside from ages ago. There's also 2 ladders next to each other, so Chelsea's on one of them.
Remember the rule, kids.
If you set it up. So Tiffany then climbs up the second ladder beside her and pushes Chelsea's ladder over, which like bounces off the ropes. So Chelsea falls into the 2 tables and smashes right through them. Great table break. It was very good. And Tiffany then is able to grab the briefcase and win.
So it's Tiffy in the bank.
Tiffy in the bank. It really is Tiffy time.
In terms of predictions, I just want to nail this in that Leanne chose Chelsea Green.
Sorry.
To be fair,
she was close.
Pretty close. I picked Tiffany Straton, so I got both the Money in the Bank winners this year.
Way, so you win Money in the Bank.
I've won Money in the Bank. Yeah. I can't remember who we predicted last year, so let's have a look. We both predicted Rollins last year in the men's. I predicted Becky and you picked Asuka. And I don't think either of us got that wrong. Yeah, because Theory won the men's.
Mm-hmm.
And then the women's match. Oh, that was the year before, sorry. I can't even tell. Liv Morgan won that one. And then last year, because I can't tell what year it is apparently, just out of curiosity's sake, you know.
Too many pages.
So last year, you predicted Damian Priest to win. I predicted LA Knight to win.
Wow.
And we both predicted Io Sky to win. So yeah, you got both last year. I got both this year.
Ah,
you had 0 this year.
Well,
you're batting 0 on Money in the Bank for 2024.
This is fine though. So we have some more filler just to cheer us up. There's another ad for NXT Heatwave. There's an ad for a WWE Legends episode on The Miz, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
An ad for SummerSlam on August 3rd. And then we go to the host. She's back for the second time in the entire show. The host, Trish Stratus, oh my goodness, is backstage having a bit of an interview and then is interrupted by Tiffany Straton, who's very rude to her. Basically says that it's Tiffy time, Trish's time is done, and she should be sad about it. And that's
her exact words was Trishy time is over.
Trishy time is over. So yeah, that was a little bit pointless, but I guess they needed to show the host more than once.
Like, I like Tiffany Stratton, I think she got good at ring things, but I hate this Tiffy time crap.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Really
okay, you got to bear with me a minute with this. Hang on.
Really need to prep this stuff before we record, Leanne.
It's not my fault. My post-it notes are dead. It's time for Leanne signs up the PLE. Leanne signs up the PLE. You got to hold them.
Oh, come on.
You got to hold them like that. There. You got it.
God, woman.
There were quite a few signs. It's pretty good. That we do have a bit of an issue where a lot of jokes are being rehashed now that we've got a new head of the table. So that's fine. A new tribal chief means we've got tribal queef back and everything. And it's, yeah. So I didn't put that on my list, but it's there. So in third place, I don't understand it, but it's Cheese Wizard. I have no idea what it means, but it made me laugh. Cheese Wizard. Second place, hashtag not my bloodline, because I agree. And first place is, I spent my money in the bank on these seats. Because they're expensive, because they were near the front. Ha! I thought it was good.
Oh, God. Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
We all know that signs have gone a bit downhill in the last few years. But yeah, I mean, I could have.
Yeah, tell my nearly burned off eyebrows.
Yes, I spent my money in the bank on these seats. If this is your sign, or if you know who it is and can prove it, careful, you'll get us cancelled.
I got it.
Let us know in the comments or on our socials, and we'll send you a little prize for winning Leanne signs of the PLE. Leanne signs of the PLE. Play.
Gotta be careful now, because there you go. Right.
Everything's gonna fall. Which brings us to the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the main event. It didn't do it with me.
It's time for the main event.
You're so mean.
I'm the music guy. I didn't hit the cue.
You ruined. Sound guy ruins it again. Oh, so another kind of, I guess, surprise placement is the main event being the 6-man tag. It makes sense in one way, but I wasn't expecting it. It's the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tamatonga, sorry.
What?
I put the O's and the A's the wrong way around. And Jacob Fatu versus Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes.
Even though it's supposed to be Tongaloa, Tamatonga, and Solo, so that's a bit of a nope.
I know they were saying something about having to.
Oh, it's probably the visa issue. They might not have been able to.
Probably couldn't guarantee it because they did say on commentary. They had to do something to get this dangerous man into the country.
So Jacob Fatu has a criminal past. He has got a criminal record. As such, it'll be interesting to see if he's ever allowed in the UK, because the UK do generally not allow anyone with a criminal record from outside of the UK into the country, and Canada's the same. Yeah,
so if he got into Canada, it ups the chance that he might be allowed.
Maybe.
Oh, Triple H, pull some more strings.
It could be that. It could be that.
I think that might be it. So that was the sort of original hope, but they couldn't guarantee it. And
so they didn't want to advertise it. Yeah.
But Tongaloa is there in a dapper suit, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a great match. I did enjoy it. It was a bit... I felt a bit slow following the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But it did pick up then and got a bit mental by the end, I think.
Yep.
So it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. A moment that caught my imagination is you had Randy Orton and Fatu in the ring, and Randy hits a couple moves on Fatu, so he's down, and Randy goes into Viper mode, which he usually does before doing the RKO.
So yeah, what happened was Jacob gets thrown out on the outside onto the thing. Randy hits the draping DDT. Obviously, Randy then goes into his RKO because that's generally what he does.
But Fatu's already standing.
He's just staring
just
at Orton.
Ready. So as soon as Randy flips over to strike the ground once, he looks up like, oh. It was quite fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was fun. The poor ref in this match, oh my goodness. He gets double bumped. So I think Solo runs into him once and smashes him in the corner.
I think it was like an elbow strike or something.
Something like that.
And then, he kind of follows through.
Yeah, so the ref sort of rolls out to the outside to be out of the way, and then a little bit later on, Fatu knocks him into the steel steps.
Oh, he bulldozed him, yeah.
Yeah,
that was
so
rough.
He's like, oh, poor ref.
Yeah, that was rough.
Poor ref. You got any?
Yeah, do you know who else is poor in this match? Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Because he's been feuding with the Bloodline for 4 years.
Poor Kevin. Yeah,
4 years.
It's a long, long time to be in the same kind of storyline. I know the Bloodline has changed, but it's still the same thing, right?
And it just goes to show that WWE don't know what to do with some people.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens would be better in different programs, but he's been stuck with the Bloodline for 4 years.
Yeah, it's a lot. It needs to end at some point, right? It can't keep going forever.
Yeah.
I
did feel that, like, for all the grandstanding of Jacob Fatu and, he's so dangerous, he's so vicious, he didn't really do much in the match per se.
It wasn't any more than Tama Tonga did.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of Jacob in this match, I felt.
Hmm.
Like, there was a point where, obviously, with the arcade where he went and took that drink DDT, stood up one on, and then he hits a couple of moves and then he tags out.
Yeah.
He would tag back in, hit a couple of moves and tag straight back out. And it's like, what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm.
If he's such an animal, why is he not ripping all three of them apart?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You know? So I feel that wasn't a good taster, per se, of Jacob Fatu's abilities.
Fair. Fatu does lead quite nicely into the finish because he gives Cody a beating.
Yeah. He kind of does and he doesn't.
Down.
Well, no, because Cody, if you're talking about the direct finish, Cody's got Solo and he's hitting the crossroads on him.
Okay, don't miss something.
And he hits crossroads twice on Solo. He goes to pick him up. Jacob runs into the corner, does a springboard cross body, and that pretty much takes out Cody, and he's holding him up for the spike. Yeah. So it wasn't that much, not really.
No.
Not really. If that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, I mean, you can finish the finish if you want.
No, come.
I don't know where I am now.
Well, Fatu's got a hold of Cody.
Yeah, but he picks Solo up.
Yeah. After he drops Cody, yeah.
He drops Cody, picks Solo up, so he's back on his feet, and then he gets Cody up, holds him up, and then Solo hits the Samoan spike and pins Cody.
So Jacob jumps out of the ring, grabs the referee, chucks him in, or it might have been Tonga Loa actually chucked him in.
It was Jacob Fatu.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
so
he
chucks
throws the
him
ref
in.
back in, and the ref counts 3, and the Bloodline wins.
Yeah, which in my mind now 100% solidifies Solo Sikoa as number 1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm. I think they were hinting at that on commentary as well.
Yeah. Well, I've been saying this for a while that the whole match at SummerSlam should be Jacob and Solo. Solo and Cody.
Cody for the title.
And that's kind of where they've been leading to, obviously, because Cody's still stuck in a feud with the Bloodline even after he took out the head of the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
But yeah, I just feel that this match was decent.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel it wasn't a good showing of Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Tama Tonga had a good showing in this match. Solo Sikoa had a good showing in this match. The shenanigans were fun.
Yeah.
And sort of Tonga Loa trying to do a prostate exam on Kevin Owens, because that's kind of that first low blow that missed.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like he just punched him in the ass. It's like, what the hell is that? And Kevin was just like...
It's hard to low blow someone when they've got someone's head between their legs, I guess.
Do you think he just punched Solo instead? Like, just poof. Oops, sorry, Buzz. But then he obviously hit the low blow. Yeah, that was a bit of another fluff. But, it is what it is. And the one thing I'm glad about is that I think it was Michael Cole mentioned, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa have won tag titles. They wrecked New Japan. They were in Japan. They did loads of accomplishments and whatnot. But then later on in the match, he did say directly, this team is dangerous as the Gorillas of Destiny. And I was like, he said it! He said it's like that. The meme with what's his face with Leonardo DiCaprio. He said it. He said it. He said it. You know that kind of meme, which I thought was really funny. I was glad they actually name dropped Girls of Destiny.
Yeah, definitely. Because they only sort of hinted at it.
Yeah, and they did name drop again that Tama Tonga is the founding member of Bullet Club. One of the founding members. So.
Yeah, are they loosening up a bit? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, AJ Styles going to Japan at some point this month.
So they're just,
there is someone else too, and I can't remember who it was.
Peeking through the forbidden door, just like.
I think it's someone from NXT. One of the females is going to Japan somewhere as well, I think. Don't quote me on that one.
Cool.
But yeah.
There you go.
In terms of predictions, we got that one correct, the Bloodline winning, and we predicted that.
Yay! So yeah, great. What do you think of the show overall?
Needs less filler.
Needs less filler, for sure.
Needs much less filler.
Much less filler.
More it was decent. It was good. Last month's Clash of the Castle, I didn't really find much of that. To be honest, that was a bit meh. King and Queen of the Ring was a bit meh as well.
Yeah, this had some great moments.
This did have some really good moments, some memorable bits and pieces.
Yeah.
We didn't have to get Logan Paul shoved on our throat, which was nice.
Yeah, there's just crime everywhere.
Unfortunately, we did have to deal with Pepsi Phil.
Yeah.
But he did technically save Damian Priest's championship, so okay, fair enough.
Wonder if they're going to do something with like Damian owing CM Punk.
I don't think that's his style.
No.
What was your most enjoyed match?
I think the men's Money in the Bank match.
I agree with that, yeah.
But I think both the Money in the Bank matches were good, but that one, there was a bit less clumsiness.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot more high octane in that one as well.
Yeah, agreed.
And what about least favourite match?
I think it's Bron versus Sami.
Sami versus Bron, for me, just because of the outcome.
It's to the point where, after we finished watching, I was trying to think of my least favourite match. I'd forgotten that one even happened.
What's that tell you?
Yeah.
What does that tell you? Yeah, that was awful.
It's a shame. It's a real shame. But hopefully Bron Breakker will get some more opportunities.
I hope so. I am disappointed as well that we didn't see any White Six.
Yeah. Why? Why?
I really think it would have been cool just to have, even if it's like two ladders set up and one of them is just stood on the opposite ladder just staring at Gable as he's sort of there reaching for the briefcase and the lights come back up, and I thought that would have been really cool. But
considering they've come out of the shadows so recently, I feel like this is a missed opportunity.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. Really I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that.
There you go. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be...
Hopefully we'll get some more on Monday night this week. On Monday Night Raw, hopefully.
Yeah, hope so.
Yeah. Cool. Take us away then. Oh, actually, what's next? Where will we go next?
SummerSlam, I think.
On?
8th of August.
Is it the 8th or the 3rd?
Hang on. I did have it in one of the filler spots. Wasn't it? Bear with. There's too many filler spots to find it in. I can't find it.
Absolute professionals here, folks.
SummerSlam.
August 3rd.
It's the 3rd. My apologies. 3rd of August. Don't try and watch it on the 8th. Well,
no. Well, you can. Available. Yeah, but you might get spoilers pretty bad. Yeah, so 3rd of August, we'll be with our predictions. We'll be a few days before that. Our reactions will be the day after because it's a Saturday again.
Yep.
So I think it's like 4 weeks today. After that, then we've got All In.
Yay!
Our predictions will be up before that, obviously. And our reactions will be at some point after because we are going to be there. So that's going to be fun.
Excited.
Cool. Anything else?
Don't think so. In between, we'll have board game videos and maybe some video game stuff. So check out what we've got.
Maybe some unboxings if some stuff starts arriving.
We need them packages. So yeah, check out that stuff and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified when we drop that stuff, because then you'll always know what's going on. And also like this video, please, if you liked it. Those little thumbs give us a bit of joy, and it's the up ones.
Yeah.
Please like it. You can talk to us in the comments or on our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and our link tree's in the description below, which will take you to all of those places. Let us know what you think the White Six might get up to next. Is Chad Gable safe now that he's taken a beating and run away from them? Or
no,
probably not.
No chance.
And as who do you think Chelsea Green's gonna cash in on? Not Chelsea, Tiffy.
Even better one. Who do you think John Cena's facing at WrestleMania next year?
Ooh, I like that one.
Is he going to win the Rumble? Is he going to headline his last WrestleMania? I reckon he will.
Questions. Answer them. If you
Never give up. Not John Cena. He's giving up.
He's giving up, yeah. So on that note, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Do, 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 do.